In this video, we're going to talk about the 16 different personality types based on the work from Catherine Myers and Isabel Briggs Myers. Now, the personality types can help us to understand how we are energized, how we get our energy, basically, and how we take in information, also how we make decisions, and what kind of lifestyle we might prefer. Now, to understand personality preferences, this exercise will be very helpful. Print off the worksheet titled Write Your Name Worksheet, or go grab a piece of paper and a pencil and or pen to write with. You will be writing your name 3 times. You can write it on the worksheet, on the blank lines under the preferred hand, or you could just go grab a piece of paper. Now you can pause this video if you need to go grab a piece of paper or print off the worksheet and go grab something to write with. Okay, but now you should have a pencil or a pen. Now sign your name 3 times as you normally would. Okay, now write your name 3 times with your non-preferred hand, or another hand, or your other hand. This may take some time. It may take longer. I'll wait until you can write your name 3 times. Some have a difficult time doing that, and sometimes writing with your non-preferred hand can make your signature unreadable. But that is okay. This will help you understand the concept of personality preferences. Okay, once you are done writing your name with both hands, what is the difference between them? Between your 2 experiences, writing with your dominant hand and non-preferred hand? How did each feel as you wrote with your preferred hand and then with your non-preferred hand? Below where you sign your name, write at least 3 descriptive words of how it felt to write your name with your preferred hand. Just come up with a few words. Under your 3 signatures with your preferred hand, it probably felt natural, so natural might be a word. And your signature probably looks very similar among all 3 of those lines. It was very consistent. The 3 times you signed your name, they look the same or pretty close to it. Write the words that describe this. Now write down how it felt to write your name with your non-preferred hand. Write down at least 3 words that describe this process. Did it feel natural or unnatural or rigid? Was it hard to do? Once you have a few words written down to describe this process of writing with your preferred hand versus your non-preferred hand, let's look at the results, and I'll give you some of mine. Here are some words that I describe as writing with my preferred hand. It's natural, comfortable, consistent maybe, relaxed, flowing, maybe it feels more instinctive. But what are some words to describe writing with your non-preferred hand? Maybe unnatural, uncomfortable, inconsistent, maybe takes more effort, maybe it's more sloppy. It just didn't feel right, did it? Just like the hand that we prefer to write with, we also have personality preferences. Some people are left-handed and some others are right-handed. Similar to some of us, extroverting comes more natural and instinctive, while others, introverting feels more natural. We also tend to take in information in different ways. When looking at an image, we might pinpoint the details while others might see more of a pattern or the big picture of what's going on. We might jump to these things immediately. This is our personality at play. This is what psychological preferences is, or personality preferences. It makes us who we are. This is also why we, compared to others, act and behave differently. We also make decisions differently as well. What becomes more instinctive, natural, or easy for us, that is where our personality preference is. What you like to do that feels more natural, comfortable, easy, or consistent in regards to your personality is what feels more natural to you. To take it a step further, if I threw a ball at you, would you use your right arm to block or catch it, or would you use your left arm? Similarly, what would you do when you arrive home, you open the door to your home, and realize there are 30 people throwing a party for you, a surprise party? You only knew a handful of these people. Would you immediately go to those people you know and spend time chatting with only them, only those who are closest to you? Or might you say hi to those you know but want to go around and meet all the unfamiliar faces? Which one would feel more natural to you? Or when making decisions, would you initially take into consideration the values and the feelings of people when it comes to tough decisions? Say you're a manager and you have to fire someone. How do you make that decision? Or do you make decisions based more on objective criteria and less person-centered? What do you feel more natural doing, and what do you do more often? These are the things that contribute to your personality preferences. Now, there are 4 personality pairings. We refer to them as dichotomies. They cover the preferences of where we get our energy, where we focus our attention, and it also considers how we take in information and how we make decisions based on that information. We all use these in one way or another. We may use them daily. However, some find them easier or more natural than others. Some preferences are more natural or comfortable for us to use than others. Our preferences take less energy to perform. What you naturally are inclined to do with less energy, that is your preference. Bringing up the baseball analogy again, if I threw a ball at you and you wouldn't have time to think about it or what hand you would block or catch the ball with, if it is speeding at 20 miles per hour, you would use your preferred hand to block or catch it without too much thinking. It's a reflex. This is similar to your preference. What you naturally do in situations, even when you're caught off guard, can show you what your inclination for that preference might be. But it doesn't mean you do not use your other hand with this baseball analogy. Similarly, with psychological types, it doesn't mean that you cannot use another way to interpret or make decisions in your world, but that you prefer one way over the other. Your preference is the default. And working against your preferences can cost you energy and become very stressful. It is also important to remember that preference does not mean ability. As you develop your understanding about these 4 dichotomies, you find yourself self-assessing your preferences. This is great because you will start to use them to make you more successful in many areas of life. In the next video, we will talk about extroversion and introversion and the specifics of that.